What's up everyone, Michigan 1777 here. As you can see, Sony has announced their Xperia XZ3. Looks very sleek, as you can tell, very round, very clean, very casual, businessy, looks great. I love the design of the Xperia. I've always enjoyed the design of the phone in general. What's new though? That display is actually an OLED display, a POLED display, not an AMOLED like Samsung, but it is a 6-inch POLED Quad HD Plus display. What are my opinions? I'm not a big fan of OLED, just for risk of burn-in and other issues along those lines. The thing is it's different between TVs and smartphone technology. The smartphones, they tend to bump up the peak brightness on these devices to fight the sunlight, which is fine. But with an OLED display, you do risk burn-in, and with the higher peak brightness, you're gonna end up risking that more, especially if you're watching content in 4K HDR where you do need that brightness, or with just HDR content in general. But overall, I'm happy with the display. It's nice, it looks clean. The ambient flow design returns. Problem I have with this device, and the problem I have with Sony, is they are so close. It is almost there. They put the new display on. They just released the XZ2 Premium, which was way too late in my opinion. And now, because of that, they took their old sensor from the XZ2 and put it on the XZ3. It is the exact same sensor. Confirmed by Sony, the exact same sensor. This is my problem with Sony. Why do you keep putting old technology on your phones? You need to keep progressing forward. You put this new display on there, and now you have the same camera. So, I don't know if you're trying to cut costs or whatnot, and I know you just released the XZ2 Premium, and I'm sure that is exactly why you only included that single camera on there. But this is where I draw a line with Sony, that they need to stop trying to do what Samsung does by releasing a lower end, mid-range, high, and then their Note series. It needs to just be their low, medium, and high series. That would be their best bet. Merge the premium models and the standard model XZ series and just work with that, because frankly, I feel like Sony takes one step forward in their technology and then takes a half a step back with others, or they take shortcuts on their other things. And in this case, it's the camera. You have the ALB sensor, you have that dual camera on the XZ2 Premium, so why don't you put it on your flagship phones? We shouldn't have to wait until a premium model comes out for these dual cameras. It is 2018. Every phone I know of has a dual camera except for the Pixel, which the Pixel is great. Problem is Sony's software, their camera software, it's not the best camera software. And if they wrote a better software, maybe I would be able to justify the fact that they have one camera on there. But I can't yet. They need to have that dual camera, and they need to work on their overall camera module, basically. They just need to put that new one that they have in the XZ2 Premium in there, and I think they'd be golden, and keep tweaking that and making it better. Also, 4 gigs of RAM in this phone. Your XZ2 Premium had 6 gigs. Why do you keep stepping back? Give us the model that we need to... this is just so frustrating. With that sense, just give us the full phone. I feel like they're like EA almost. They give you a good thing and it's something new and trendy, and then they take the next thing back and then they put it back in later and like, oh, this is new. So I don't know. Sony, I think you just need to get rid of the premium line. Just merge the premium line and your standard line. Now, one thing I did want to say. Japan Display Technologies does a heck of a job on their panels. They make gorgeous panels. So IPS panels on the Xperias have always been stellar. I can only imagine their OLEDs are just as good. SuperSaf, thank you for not permitting this. I'm sorry. Try and get to that part real quick. There we go. The Note is right next to it. All right, there we go. That is the Xperia. Very clean, look at that. The very, very solid looking colors. Japan displays, there's the Note. And as you can see here, the phones look very similar. The Xperia is like a cross between the Pixel and the Note. It still has that curved glass like the Galaxy, which looks great, but it's got the bezels of the old Google Pixel 2. I really like the design of the Xperia over the Note just because I get those dual speakers, and I think that what Sony is planning on doing with their premium model at some point is they're going to put a second camera sensor on the front of that so that we have a dual camera on the front. And then on the back, I think they're also going to put the dual camera as well. So I need to bring this up too. The housing for the Xperia, everyone complains it's so large. I'm wondering if Sony is looking at, you know, it says 5G Sony Xperia will pave the way to week-long battery life. This housing is big enough to house a bigger battery. And I think what Sony might do, because they switched to OLED, that's going to be a battery saver. They might take this battery, get a bigger battery, and do a ton of software tweaks to try and optimize this phone further. And if they can do that, we might be seeing a really solid Xperia later on. Dual cameras on front, dual camera on back, as well as maybe a fingerprint sensor. I'm betting they're going to take that fingerprint sensor and move it under the screen. That is a technology that is out now. Now that they have the OLED display, they can use that. If that gets good, they can do it. On top of that, Sony also is rumored to have a new 48 megapixel camera. This says Sony Xperia XZ3. I'm thinking it's going to be the XZ3 Premium or XZ4 before they actually put it in there. We'll see, honestly. I do think they're going to take bits and pieces of every other phone manufacturer and try and put it into theirs, but I think in the end they could make the ultimate phone. I'm a person who likes a little bit of bezel on their phone. I like those dual speakers, the idea of a dual front-facing camera, and I'll be content with the OLED display when I actually see it, I'm sure. But yeah, XZ3, pretty content with it, honestly. For $800 US dollars, I don't think it's a bad phone by any means. Would I skip it? I would say if you have the XZ2 or the XZ2 Premium, obviously I'd say just wait. I have the XZ Premium. I will probably upgrade if they announce a XZ3 Premium or XZ4 Premium. As for now, I'm not going to get this phone, but it is the step in the right direction in many ways. It is also, like I said, the camera-wise, it's a step back, but we'll see what Sony does. I'm excited to see the future of this company, and I'm hoping that they make a really solid smartphone later on to complement this one. But we'll see what happens. I hope you like this video. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Especially subscribe. I'm trying to boost my YouTube channel, and like this video too so I can move up in YouTube as well. Once again, thank you SuperSaf TV. I know you probably will never see this video, or if you did, you'll complain that I took content, but oh well. Yeah, that's basically it. Hope you all enjoy this video. Have a great evening, great day, or whatever it is where you are, and hope you enjoy this video. Thank you.